topic I am covering is earthquakes, and it's a pretty basic one, but the question is, are earthquakes predictable? And I did a lot of research, and I'm interested in this because, as just someone who lives, I would be very interested in knowing if, like, an earthquake was going to be coming into my area anytime soon. And the first thing I came across was this graph right here, and I don't know if you can see that. Well, there we go. That looks a little better. If you can see, Texas isn't really going to be seeing any earthquakes anytime soon. But as you can see, around the west coast over here, that's California over there. California is extremely more likely to be seeing earthquakes than our area per se. And I'm going to read some of the research that we found out. And basically, some of the anomalies that have been provided on this subject that help scientists and the public kind of try to find signs and warnings that earthquakes may be coming, have been really difficult for them to find to be able to say earthquakes are predictable. Unfortunately, those anomalies do not directly relate any impending earthquakes are coming to the area. Scientists have tried lots of different ways of predicting earthquakes, but none have been really successful. They have pretty good ideas, like I showed you, where the earthquakes will be. For example, they're more likely to happen in California than they are in a place like Texas or the mid-section of the United States. So therefore, the future earthquakes are very easily to be calculated, but not exactly when they are going to be. Scientists at the U.S. Geological Society estimate that the probability of a major earthquake occurring in San Francisco Bay Area, like I discussed in California, over the next 30 years is 67%. But when you take that same area and you shorten that into the next, let's say, week, all of a sudden that projected ability goes down to 0.2%. A direct quote from a scientist about California: "We have models that say in Southern California over the next 30 years, the odds of having an earthquake of a magnitude of 7.5 or greater is 38%. But again, once you shorten down that timetable to a week or two, that would give us a better idea and the ability to prepare to exit the area, then we can't really tell. Based on the information that we're talking about, they're not really reliable. The predictability that scientists have come up with are not really reliable enough yet for the U.S. to take seriously the idea of causing social and economic unrest and uproar and a mass movement out of the area when you have such a little percentage of chance that would actually occur. In conclusion, I think that this explanation best sums up the reasons for the challenges ahead of those findings that I'm about to read to you. This was a quote from the USGS Earthquake Hazards Program. It says, "Though scientists do create sophisticated models of earthquakes and study the history of quakes along fault lines, no one has enough of an understanding about the conditions, for example, the rock materials, the minerals, the fluids, the temperatures, and pressures at the depths where quakes start and grow to be able to predict them. We can create earthquakes under controlled conditions in a laboratory or observe them close up in a deep mine, but those are special situations that may not look very much like the complicated faults that exist in the depth of the crust where large earthquakes occur." And that quote, again, was from Michael Blampede, and he's an associate director of the U.S.'s Earthquake Hazard Program. That being said, let me make sure I have everything here before I wrap up. And yes, I do. So I guess like the concise answer to my question is no, earthquakes are currently not predictable, but so many steps are being taken to make that possible. Now, by looking at it through science, are we a ways away? Probably a little ways away. But the good thing is we're taking steps towards that goal that will be able to help us prepare for earthquakes better in the future. And that's it. Thanks so much.